Hey everyone, and welcome to the Webtogs ski review. So today we're going to be taking a look at the KEEN Tempo Mid Walking Boot. So the hint's in the name, it's a mid walking boot, which means it's going to give you all the support and comfort that you need around the ankle, but it's not so high up. So if you find, should I say, high ankle support a little bit uncomfortable, a bit too tight maybe, again, it's personal preference, this is definitely a boot to consider. Anyway, let's take a look at some of the key features. So first off, it features KEEN Dry, which is basically their waterproofing membrane. It's their in-house waterproofing, and it does feature a DWR coating, which is PFC free as well. That's on the outside. So when it comes to getting your feet wet, or should I say keeping them dry, this definitely will do the job. The only thing you'll need to do now and again is just top up the DWR coating on the outside with some reproofer. So as long as you do that, your feet will stay nice and dry, which is awesome. It also features an eco anti-odor material on the inside. Basically means the boot is a bit more breathable, but it just means that your feet and the boot are going to stay, or should I say, they're going to smell fresher for longer, which is really, really cool. Anyway, that's generally the kind of the core crux of the core functions of this boot. Let's take a closer look at this boot itself. So, like I said, it is a mid boot, so it's nice and high where you need it on the support, and again, that links in nicely with the eyelets, but it dips nice and low, so it's not so abrasive at the top there. So like I said at the beginning of the video, if you're not 100% sure, if you don't like having high support, this mid boot is comfortable, but it's still going to give you the support that you need. So you've got a very traditional eyelet system on there. Fabric 1, 2, 3, 4. It's quite interesting to see that the actual eyelets themselves aren't actually linked in all the way. They kind of go in a little bit to kind of give you a bit of a snugger feel around the top part of the boot, around the midsection where there's flex, which is actually a really subtle but really cool thing to see in this boot. But again, up to 1, 2, 3, 4. So those eyelets are fabric. Again, means the boot itself is a little bit more lightweight, but also it's a bit of cutting as well. That's why this boot is a little bit cheaper. But then to top it off, at the top there, you do have 2 hook eyelets, which means you can adjust how tight or how loose you want that knot on the top part of your boot. Again, it's personal preference. So it is nice to see, even though they do have material eyelets, you do have metal hook eyelets at the top. That's great to see. It all interlinks nicely within the actual lace system, like most traditional walking boots. It just means that when you tighten the boot up, and over time, it's going to shape and it's going to mold to the shape of your foot, meaning it's going to be nice and comfortable eventually when you break them in. But these pretty much wear them, from the word go, fresh out of the box and go hiking on low level to mid level. I wouldn't recommend wearing any new boots on steep terrain. That's where you're going to find some issues of rubbing. You do have to break them in a little bit. Anyway, but yeah, they all link in nicely with the lace system. Your nice round around the side. Again, you've got additional protection on the side here, which is pretty solid. You've got your traditional kind of your heel box there. Again, it does offer protection, but it is nice and soft as well, which means, again, it's not too hard around, your I was going to say your ankle, but the heel of your shoe. Again, around the side here, there isn't an actual side step. So again, like I said, you've got reinforced material there. There isn't any of that on the other side there. But again, that comes to your toe box, which is a solid toe box. It's nice and good. What you'll also notice as well, there's 2 other cool features that this shoe has, or should I say boot. It's covered in ripstop material, which means it's hard wearing. So if you're doing a bit of walking or hiking on rougher terrain, maybe even a bit of grade 1 scrambling, it's gonna offer you the protection that you need and the resistance that you need when it comes to those sharp areas. But you will also notice this front system here. Basically, the way that it's designed, a lot of walking boots have a tendency of splitting over time there, in that section there. That's just due to the fact that you've got a lot of pressure on the shoe itself, and naturally materials are going to bend, they're going to crack. But you've got the system at the front here, which enables a little bit more flex on the front. But that also means, one, you've got that real nice flexibility, so you can kind of really dig into the ground there, but that's also protecting the top part of the boot as well, which is really, really cool. Let's go straight to the sole itself. So even with that flex section on the front there, again, you do have a bit of flex on there. The sole itself is pretty solid, and it does offer great flexibility. Now again, like I always say in most of my boot reviews, the soles themselves, they look very standard, but that's a good thing. That's what you want. You want to see great variance in spacing and depth. And this sole here offers that. So no matter what sort of terrain that you're going to be walking on, it's going to offer you the grip that you need. What you'll also notice as well, there are textured areas in the sole. And what that means is if the surface is a little bit slippery, a little bit icy, it just is going to enable that little bit more grip. Having a textured grip or textured sections on the grip on the sole is actually a really win-win, especially in my books. But yeah, again, you've got different variants here. It's deeper, it's shallower in sections. You've got this cross-paneling section on the back and at the front there, which is going to help dig your boot into the ground and the terrain. So yeah, great variancy there. And again, they're nice and lightweight as well, which is really, really cool. So who are these for? Definitely would recommend these for entry to mid hikers or adventurers. They're definitely going to tick a lot of boxes. Again, they're a mid boot, so if you find having ankle support a little bit more uncomfortable, but you still need that support, this is definitely something to look out for. The fact that you've got two metal hook eyelets means you can adjust that top nicely, giving you the support that you need. But because it's a mid, because it goes and drops at the back there, you know, it just offers a little bit more comfort. So there's definitely something to consider as well. And also as well, if you're a person that has a tendency of kind of being a bit more toe heavy when it comes to the trails, or you know, you found over time that you get a lot of wear out of the, you know, the sections on the front here, having this system on the front enables that flexibility. Yeah, there's definitely something to consider as well. And again, they're great for low level, mid level, and probably even kind of high level, should we say main trails. I wouldn't go too hardcore on the scrambling in this boot, but again, it is covered in ripstop material. You've got that flex and there is protection, so maybe for that as well. Yeah, it all depends on how heavy footed you are, should I say, when it comes to that. But yeah, so this is the KEEN Tempo mid boot. I nearly forgot the name there, but yeah, this is the KEEN Tempo mid boot. Really good boot. Definitely would, you know, recommend it for entry to mid-level hikers and adventurers. If you want more information on this boot, just head over to our website, webtogs.com, or click on the link that is pinned in the comments below for more information. What you'll also notice over there is that we're doing a really cool initiative at the moment, which is place an order, plant a tree. So for every order that is placed on our website, we are going to be planting a tree for future generations to help reduce our carbon emission footprint, which is fantastic. And talking about our carbon emissions footprint, it is down by, as of recording, 93.5%. So that in itself is fantastic. The fact that we're going to be planting a tree as well for every order is fantastic, but when you combine the two, it does something rather special. And that little bit of magic basically offsets the carbon emissions of 3 other Webtog orders. So the one tree that we're going to be planting based on yours or someone else's order through our website actually offsets the carbon emissions of 3 other Webtog orders. And that's purely for the fact that we've got our warehouse and the Webtogs company carbon emissions down by 93.5%, again, as of recording. And not a lot of hiking or outdoor brands, you know, can commit to that or even say that. So it's something that we're super proud of here at Webtogs. And again, if you want to find out more information about that, it's all linked and pinned down in the comments below. Anyway, I'm going to leave you there. I'm going to stop waffling. Thanks for watching and happy trails.